This is an area where we're going to have a 60% majority in the Senate and the House in order to actually get a bill to my desk. We're going to have a majority to get a bill to my desk. That is not just a 50+1 majority.
Not just a 51-plus majority. Congressman Dennis Kucinich is one of the many people who was called to a meeting with the President of the United States just a short while ago, and he's good enough to join us now. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us, sir.
Thank you, Rick. Good to be with you.
What's the plan? What did the President tell you? What did you learn? What can you share with the American people?
The President talked to 9 members of Congress. 8 of them voted for the bill. 1 voted against. That was myself. And he described the bill as being a foundation, a new start. And he made a very strong pitch for his policy. And frankly, you know, when the President makes a pitch to you, he really evokes a desire to want to help him. I'd like to be able to help him on this. I just have some serious concerns about the bill that's being presented.
Well, let me take you back here a little bit. I think you buried the lead for us. You said you disagree with the President and you're not going to vote for this bill? Is that what I heard you say?
Well, I voted against the bill in the House. I voted against it because it essentially is a privatization of our health care system, which already is creating double-digit premium increases 4 consecutive years. It's pricing more and more people out of health care, and just simply requiring people to have health care, even with a government subsidy, may not solve the problem for the American people. Now, this is something that I've made no secret about, Rick, and, you know, I voted for the bill in committee. But the public option, which is the only way you control the insurance company rates, was stripped out. Once that was stripped out, it really gave me some limitations about what I could do to be helpful.
If Dennis Kucinich would have his way, he'd probably want to have universal health care, wouldn't he?
Well, you have to remember, that's true, but you keep this in mind. I'm not a newcomer to this. I brought to 3 national conventions proposals for Medicare for All. I campaigned twice nationally for Medicare for All. However, I was willing to be able to negotiate and bargain for a public option. That's what we passed in committee, but it disappeared in a backroom deal. I want to be helpful to this president. He's my president. I want to see him succeed. But the bill's a terribly flawed bill that will lock in the privatization of health care, $70 billion bonanza for the insurance industry. Rick, the telling point is that every successive bill that's been presented about this health care so-called reform, the health care stocks go up. And the stock analysts on Wall Street say, buy health care stocks. They keep going up. Why would they do that? Because they know they're going to, insurance companies know they're going to clean up.
I'm struck by a bizarre coincidence here. I was just doing an interview with Ron Paul the other day, who's really the polar opposite of you politically, and he was saying to me almost the very same things that you're saying to me. He was saying he doesn't trust that this thing can be done in this way. Obviously, he was saying that the government shouldn't be involved. You're saying the government should be involved. Is there any way that you can reconcile this thing so that we can see passage of it?
Well, you know, I'd like to be helpful. It's just this bill is very difficult. And those who describe this as a government takeover of health care, it's almost laughable.
Yeah.
We're giving the insurance companies
so you think the president
31 million more people.
Congressman, do you think the president sold out on this thing? He started with one thing, and now he's going in another direction and allowing big health care, if I could use that term in quotations before getting in too much trouble, that he's allowed them to pull his strings on this thing?
No, when Barack Obama and I campaigned for the presidency, you know, he won and he deserved back to the office. When he campaigned, he never said he was going to be for single payer. So I think we have to state that.
Yeah.
And I think that we can disagree with the president without disparaging him. I think it's very important that we keep this on policy, and the policy is further privatization of health care. That's what I have a difficult time with, Rick. That's why I struggle with this, despite the desire that I have to want to be helpful to Barack Obama.
Is there any possibility at this point, and we'll close with this, is there any possibility at this point that some of you guys on the left of the party can still try and talk these folks into putting the public option back in? Or is it, at this point, a moot point?
Well, first of all, Rick, check the National Journal. I'm now a centrist. Number 2,
who knew?
Yeah, who knew? I think it's really important for there to continue to be discussions about how you can improve the bill. And that's something that I'm sure the White House is aware of. I think the vote will be very close. And again, I think we all want what's best for our country.